build automation tool, which is Maven. Okay. So like Git is used almost everywhere, like wherever you are using the version control system. But when we talk about Maven, so Maven is primarily used for the Java-based project. Okay? And if you are using, an example, Python, then probably you will be using PyBuilder. If you are using .NET, then MSBuild. So tool does not matter, process matters, right? Because most of the open source projects you see it is either in Python or Java. Java is having a maturity. Like most of the DevOps tools are also, not most of them, but so many DevOps tools which are developed in Java, like Jenkins. It is developed in Java. Maven itself is developed in Java. We need the Java for this. So it's a type of Java project only. Okay? So that's why talking about the Maven is more, if you see the web applications, right? So if we talk about Java use cases, it is used for, one second. Yeah. So like Java use cases are, you can develop the web application. You can create desktop applications also. You can create APIs. You can create microservices. You can integrate with AWS. You can integrate with Azure, GCP, all cloud service providers. And it has so many other advantages, right? So the good thing is that Java is free. You need not to pay a single penny to develop a program in Java, right? So when you are deploying the application on some web server, so Tomcat, if you use, then it is Apache Tomcat, which is again free and open source. If you want to use a build automation tool, Maven, Apache Maven, which is again free. Right? So it means if you are using Java, so it's free for you, and it is very solid, very powerful language, right? Actually, there are a lot of applications are already developed, so there is no point to discuss the advantages of Java. Java is having endless advantages. Java is free, and it is under the proprietary of Oracle now. So Oracle is you can say the one who is taking care of the new versions of Java. So if you want to install new version of Java, you need to go to Oracle website and you need to install JDK. So there are three things which we mostly talk about as a Java developer. So we are not going to learn Java in this build automation tool, but I'm just telling you that what Java is doing, what is the purpose of Java. right? Because we are going to use a build automation tool which needs a source code. So we will create a very simple hello world kind of application because development is not the activity of the DevOps engineer. It is done by the development machine. So as a DevOps engineer, we need to deploy the application. So, that thing is basically we need to know. And in the last lecture, or maybe in the previous lecture, I mentioned that if you are going for a DevOps engineer, right? If you know that language which you are supporting, that will be a plus point. So same thing, as I mentioned, most of the projects are Java based and you are deployed as a DevOps engineer for Java project, right? And you know Java, then it is a plus point because you know the development plus you know the implementation. So Java is having this Java development kit and sometimes we call it OpenJDK. So OpenJDK is the open because it is open source. So if you want to write a source code, you need the Java development kit. Then Java runtime engine, JRE. If you want to compile your code, if you want to execute your code, then you need the JRE. Okay, need the JRE. And there are many other Java virtual machines, JVM, right, which is dependent upon operating system, which operating system we are using. So if you are having JDK installed, JRE is automatically get installed. So you can say JRE is the subset of JDK. So you need not to install JRE separately. So for example, there are production machines. In the production machines, I want that Java source code I am not going to execute. I want to execute my executable files. So what are the executable files? Jar file. Jar is Java archive. So this is a Java executable file. Okay. Same with war file. This is Java web archive file. So this is for the web execution. For example, you are having a website. Then you want to create a build, then it will be war. If you are having a normal console application or if you are having desktop kind of application or maybe some cases microservices where you don't need the web interfaces, then you can go with the jar, right? So we will see both the implementation. Yeah, right? Up till here, do you have any questions?
Clear.
Good. Are you aware of Java?
Yes, sir. I'm aware, a little bit aware of Java.
Oh, you are
suppose I'm using the Python code. So what will be there for that same jar and var file?
No. In Python, it's a different. Python is a separate programming language. Java is a separate programming language.
Right.
So Python will have PYC, which is a Python compiled file, right, which we use for the compilation point of view. And the Java has different. So if you know C, there are so many programming languages. We have Java, .NET, Python, Scala, Go, Ruby and Rails, right? So if you know one of the build automation tools, right? So maybe the tool gets changed. Means in Python it will be PyBuilder, but process will be same. So our main purpose as a DevOps engineer is to know the process instead of knowing the tool. Knowing the tool is required, but before that we need to know what this tool will do, how it will helpful for automation, right? So whenever you are thinking about as a DevOps engineer, so you always think about automation. I need to. So Maven, PyBuilder, MSBuild, Gradle, and there are so many tools are there which are related to the build automation, right? So we need to know that which one is fit to our project. So in our syllabus, we will discuss about Maven. Got it? Now, one more thing. Whenever you are having a build automation tool, right? So, right, whenever you are having a build automation tool, right? So, right. So whenever you are having the build automation tool, right? Before that, there will be a development. So companies, they prefer a language, right, which is platform independent. Platform independent is like Python. You can run it on Linux, Windows. You can run it on Mac operating system, right? So, right. So Java is also platform independent. You can run the Java executables on yeah. So right. So you are you can run the Java on Linux, Windows, Mac operating system, right? So right. So now that is the another purpose. Now, if you are not able to hear me clearly at any point, please let me know because I'm using Bluetooth and maybe if I bit away from the laptop, so you should not get the disturbance. Okay. You are able to hear me clearly, right? Nikhil, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying that I'm using Bluetooth. So in case if you are having any disturbance, please let me know. If I'm bit away from the laptop, that's it.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Now, see, we have discussed about the source code. Right? So we are having a source code and we are doing a version control system by using Git and GitHub. Have you done the assignment that I had given to you? Did you get the chance?
Yeah. So I have started with the MCQ question which is there.
Mm-hmm. Or
and
you
some
have.
are able to, yeah, some of them
You
are
do
able
one
to
thing.
answer.
You do one thing. Whenever you take that questions, right, don't see the answer, and then once you finish that, then compare the answer, and just send me a result that I have means I was wrong. Means out of say an example 30 question or 25 questions, I cleared 20 questions. So that 5 question is a gap. In that case, maybe you are confused or maybe something which we have not discussed. Could be anything, right? So I will see that one and then we will talk about that. Okay. So let's do in that case. Okay. So the source code. So you are having the source code and that source code is into the GitHub repository. So basically what happens whenever having a source code, so source code as I mentioned, it's your application code. So your application code is in the GitHub repository and it is a trigger point for cicd pipeline. So it is a trigger point for cicd pipeline. It means if I have a code owner Code owner is the one who is basically pushing the code into the main branch. So as soon as any change happen into the source code, I want that a trigger is to be happen, and that trigger is going to start the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, that is what I want. So now our next step is the build. See, for example, if I give you the Java code, right, and you say as a developer, okay, I want this code is to be converted into jar file or var file. In those scenarios, what you will do, you will uh, first convert this jar file, Java file into the jar file, for example. So here, build tool comes into the picture. You need to build the code. See, in the testing environment or UAT environment or any environment where you are basically running your code, you don't give the source code, you give the build code, compiled code, executable code. Right? So that is why I want this is to be done automatically. This is to be done automatically. If this is to be done automatically, then we need to build our jar file with some build automation tool. So build automation tool takes your source code and converts into the executable file. So that is the main purpose of the build automation tool. Now consider that you want to have a CI/CD pipeline where you want, as soon as we push the code into the repository, then it will automatically get built. Okay, automation should come into the picture. You as a developer should not create the jar file. It should be created by some tool, some system. That is why build automation tools are required. So this executable is created by the build automation tool. Some examples of the build automation tool for Java. There is Maven. Gradle is also one of them. It is same as Maven almost. There is Ant. So now let us talk about Maven only. For this purpose, you understood what is the purpose of build automation tool? Clear. Oh, good. Now let me go to my GitHub repository. Now, okay. So build automation tool. The build automation tool is a software that automatically builds the application source code without manual steps. In simple words, it takes the code plus configuration plus and produces the runnable artifact, which is Java, executable, Docker image, etc. What does build actually mean? It downloads the dependency. What is dependency? See, whenever you are writing a code, for example, you are writing a code for Python, and you want to do a automation testing using Selenium. Okay? So you are using Selenium for your Python or Java or any type of application. or you want before this, integration testing, you want to do a unit testing. You want to do a unit testing. So whenever you are doing a unit testing, at that time, what is unit testing? Unit testing is done by the developer, right? So developers, they are doing the unit testing, right? And they want that when we give our application to testing team, so before they report the issue, we need to know what are the issues, right? So that is why we do the unit testing. And there are many unit testing frameworks are available, depends upon which programming language you are using. So if I talk about Python, PyTest is one of the unit testing. Unit testing is also one of them. And if I talk about Java, so Java we are having JUnit, we are having Jupyter, and there are few more. Okay. So now, right. So now this these are the two main unit testing frameworks. Now I want, this is my source code. My source code needs a unit testing in JUnit. It needs JUnit. JUnit is a third party, or not third party, but it is external tool which we need to add it into our project. By default, it is not added. Okay. And how to add? You pick up the jar file of the can pick up the jar file of JUnit and then add it into your application, into your project. Right? Okay, that we can do. Once it is done, then I can perform the JUnit testing. But now, build tool space, no need to do that. No need to do this activity. We will add some dependency which automatically downloads the JUnit jar file into your project. You need not to manually download that JUnit jar file and then add it into your code. So this is called dependency resolution, and that is one of the big things which we do with the Java or Java Maven. Compiling the source code, running the unit test. So we should run our test cases automatically. See, when the unit testing, if any test case gets failed, it means compile. It should not be ready for the executable. Right. So those testing is to be there, and packaging, jar file, war file, preparing the artifact for the deployment. So without build tool, manual, error prone; with build tool, repeatable, reliable, and fast. Build automation tools are important in DevOps for automation, consistency, speed, and reliability. No manual intervention. Save build output on developer laptop and CA server. Zero manual intervention, faster feedback in the pipeline, and easy integration. So here it is, code commit, means you are committing the code into the GitHub. Build, then test, package, artifact, and deploy. So this is basically, if you don't have the build code, you cannot go for the testing, you cannot go to create the package jar file. You cannot go with means that is called the artifact. Artifacts are basically a jar file or war file. These are the artifacts. So you cannot deploy it to any system, right? So build is required. So yeah, you can just walk through. So for Node.js, npm is the build automation tool, where you say npm install, npm run, npm test. So these are the commands. in Java Maven Gradle, which is XML based. We will see there is a form.xml file, and we run these commands, which is clean MVN, and then the goal we call it. Like here, you will understand this once you finish this. Gradle is also uh, is basically used for Maven, for Groovy and Kotlin language also. Python, we are having PyBuilder. Right? In .NET, we are having .NET Build, MSBuild. Okay? So let's take one example. How build automation helps CI/CD pipeline. Example, Java app CI pipeline. Developer pushes the code to the Git. Jenkins triggers the pipeline, and this command will create the jar file. This jar file is created, and it will be stored into some artifactory like Nexus, and pipeline deploys the artifact. Okay? So this is basically how in CI/CD pipeline it is helping. Again, this is the similar thing. Interview point of view, build automation tools automate the compiling, testing, packaging of the application, and CI/CD pipelines use the tools consistently build and deliver the software automatically. Now, let us specifically talk about the Maven. Maven is Apache product. It is free of course. Apache Maven, Apache Web Server, Apache Tomcat. So Apache has so many tools. So here, Apache Maven is a build automation tool and project management tool. In simple words, Apache Maven automates the building, testing, packaging, and deploying the application. For DevOps engineers, Maven is mainly used for build the application automatically, manage the dependency, and produce the artifactory for CI/CD pipeline. Who built the Maven? So it is the product of Apache Software Foundation. It is open source, community driven, right, and widely used in the enterprise environment. Why Maven was created? Before that, the processes were manual and Ant-based. Ant was also a build automation tool, but it is not 100%. It was not 100% automated. So that's why this is the Maven is the solution for that. No standard of the project structure. Now, when you are using Maven, so there is a project structure. Okay? So there is a main. Under main, we will have our source code, right? And under test, we are having test, resources, and so on. Okay? So there is a template which we need to follow. Now, dependency management was painful. Like I have given you the example of the JUnit. If JUnit is to be installed, then you need to download the jar files and then you need to plug in into your project. So this is not required in the case of Maven because Maven is maintaining its own repository. Okay. It is a convention over configuration, standard directory layout, centralized dependency management. Okay. So these are the things we will see. Now, first of all, what you need to do, you need to install Java, JDK. Okay. So you can say, I'm using Windows for this. You can use Linux commands also. I can show you. You can use Ubuntu apt install Maven directly. Okay. So installation is same, but installation is same. Installation steps are different, but the commands are same. Okay, whatever commands I am going to execute in Windows, so same set of commands I will execute for the Linux operating system. Only the operating system, that how the package is to be installed, those things are a little bit different, but I will show you those steps are also. Now, yes. So now the right. So now, first of all, we need to install uh, Java. So you can say JDK um, download for Windows 11. Okay. So you can go to the Oracle website. In the Oracle website, you can just say uh, you see Java download. So latest is Java 25. Let us install Java 25 only. Now here, these are the binaries which you can use for Linux, Mac operating system, and Windows. Because we are using Windows, so I will go here and download for Windows. Right? And I will go with this x64 and x64 installer. Right? So you can just download it. It is executable. Install it at any folder. So I have installed it on my C and Java. I have already downloaded and installed it. Okay, and I have given the name which is JDK 25.02. Okay, and under bin I have my all the files. So once you install, it will ask for the path. So you just give the path, whatever path you want to give. You give path which is shorter in name because you can download it on program file because we need to set one environment variable. So if I go to the environment variable and here you see I have set this Java underscore home. So Java underscore home is the home directory for Java. Okay. So I had given my Java folder under that JDK 25.02. Okay. So this is my Java. So once Java is, so step number one, we need to install Java. Once it is installed, then, and you set this environment variable, then what you need to do, you need to go to the command prompt of PowerShell, whatever. Let me open PowerShell. And here you can say Java -version. So you can see Java 25.02 is installed on my system. So same way, no complication. In case if you face any issue, then let me know. So Java is installed.
Yeah, I have Java 23 already installed in my setup.
That is fine. 23 is also fine. Okay, for our practical, 21 is also fine. 23 is also fine. 25 is also fine. So now, second thing is that we need to install Maven. Now, to download the Maven, what you need to do? You need to go to the Apache Maven website. So you can say Maven download. Okay. So you can go here and you can go to the download. Under that, you will see this is the tar for the Linux-based system. And there are two types of archives. One is binary, one is source. We don't need the source code. Source code, if you want to see how they have developed this, what is the code written to create this Maven, then you can go with this source code. But I need the zip file because I want for Windows. And what you can do, you can just download this. Once you download this, I have already downloaded it, then you can unzip it. So I have already kept it here. So I have unzipped it and I kept it here. And under this bin directory, you will see there is a Maven executable file. Right? So there is no complication again. You just need to download it and put it into some folder. Okay. Now next, I want this Maven commands are to be executed from anywhere. Okay, so these are to be executed from anywhere. So in that case, what I'll do, I will set the executable path for this. So how to set? Again, I need to go to the environment variable, and here under path variable, you can double click on this. See, I had given a path something like this, where my bin directory is there. So bin directory path we need to give. So now if I run Maven from anywhere, any directory, I can access that. I say mvn --- was there. So you can see Maven 3.9.12, and without Java you cannot install Maven. So you need to install Java first, and then Maven you need to install. Okay. So another thing, you need to set the Maven home path also, which is Maven home path, which is not required actually. You will see. I think it's not required, but if it is required, you can just set the home path also, or you can leave it. That is not. Okay. So Maven is installed, Java is installed. So tools which are required, these are installed on our system. Next thing is that we need to create a project. We need to create a project. So if I talk about Maven, so there is something called archetype. Archetype in Maven. So Maven is following a structure. It is saying that your project folder. Consider you are having a project folder. Okay? Under that project folder, you should have a src directory. Under that src directory, you should have a main directory. And in Java, let me just give you some overview. Maybe you already know that, but just so that it will be easy to understand this folder stuff. In Java, there is something called class. Okay? So you create a class. For example, I'm creating a class student, and student class is having some properties and methods. The class name, or this is the public class or only the class, then file name is same as the class name. The file name is same as class name. So this file name will be student.java. Same if I create address.java, then the file name will be address.java, then class it will have address. Okay. So like that, you can create multiple classes, interfaces, right? Now I want these two are in a same category. These are related to students. So what I do, I create a package. Package is same as modules in Linux in Python. So here I will create a package. Say, for example, your application is deployed and your application is abc.com. So this is your domain name. So in Java, we give the domain name, but in the reverse order, like com.abc. Now here I will give the package name as abc.com. Here also I will give the package name as abc.com. Now what will happen? abc.com is having two things under it. One is student class and one is address class. Okay. And the structure of the means how these files will be stored, student.java and address.java. There will be a directory get created com. Under com, there will be a directory called abc. Under abc, there will be student.java. And there will be address.java. Do you understand this? Are you aware of this?
I know.
Okay, good. So now, same way, when you are using the Maven project, the same way, under main, you will have your Java folder. Under Java, for example, I'm using a domain name, same com.abc.com, then it will create com, under that com, abc, and your class name. So this is the structure which we need to follow. Okay. Now, similarly, if you want to do a testing under source, there will be a test directory. This is for the unit testing. And under that again Java, under that com, abc, and then your test file, unit test.java. So all the Maven projects are following this structure. There is another resources folder which we will discuss later. But this is the structure we need to follow. Now, so that is why you can create from the beginning also, from scratch, this project. But Maven has already given so many archetypes. Those archetypes are basically templates. Okay. So best way is that means as a beginner for Maven, better to use those archetypes. So now what we will do, we will take one folder. And here I will remove all, and I will create a new folder, and I will call it as Maven project. And here I will create a new folder, and I will put 01 underscore basic. So you can create a Maven project by using some IDE like Visual Studio Code, or by using Eclipse, IntelliJ. So these are some integrated development environments. With the help of that, we can create the Maven project. So what I will do, I will use Visual Studio Code to demonstrate the Maven project. So I will take this folder, and first I will use the archetype. So I will take this directory. I will go here, and I will go to this directory. Now you need to run a command mbl. Just one second. Let me grab a glass of water. Yeah, come back. So as I mentioned, there is a archetype. So we will use that archetype concept to create our Maven project. See, as I mentioned, writing a code is not a Java, it's not a DevOps engineer's job. So you are responsible to compile the code, create the executable, put it into the artifactory. but source code will be written by the developer. So now consider that consider if I say MVN archetype and generate. I will run this command. So here you can see that there are many templates are there. See how many templates? 3,627, and these are keep growing. And it is saying which template you want to use. So it is saying by default 2309. So let us see what is 2309. So 2309 is a Apache Maven Apache archetype quick start. So it is a very simple project, right? Which is returning hello world. It's a hello world type of project. So as I mentioned, we are not